Okay.
Well, you have my interest. I think that sounds awesome, actually.
It's really fun.
Well,
Can
getting
I
back
ask,
to
so I have a question from a viewer.
yes,
This isn't related to our topic, but he asked me to ask, so I'm going to ask. Okay.
sure, go for it.
All right. When getting books signed and graded at cons, whose signature is more valuable, the artist or celebrity that's on the book? And if you have multiple books from different companies on the same franchise, whose are worth more to get signed or more valuable later as an investment? For example, IDW and Image both have Transformers books.
I think on that one, it would, let's just take Transformers. Of course, let's just say you got a Transformers cover that's like from the movie, one of the movies, let's just say. To get like one of the actors to sign that cover, it's up there. You know what I'm saying? Now, with respect, that's going to be worth more than the writer, let's just say. Now, if we're talking about like an old school comic cover, with Transformers, probably the cover artist / writer would be your top two, your top two to get signed.
Yeah, for okay, there you go.
I have some Avengers comics, but they're the movie covers, and I was lucky enough to get like Robert Downey Jr. to sign it, and some other, some of the other actors that were in the movie. I think it's like signed by like at this point like 10 different people. You know what I'm saying? 10. I mean, all of them. It took me a few years, but with respect, if I was going to an old school, just Avengers comic, I would want like the artist / writer to autograph it, I guess.
I was going to say, the way I look at it is when you CGC something, basically it just turns into a flat piece of art to me, which is the cover.
Yeah.
So I just like to get the cover artist on the book for the signature, and that's it.
That makes sense.
But like Jeff Delaney, you have a lot of really old classic books in CGC, like high value, really great books. Do you look at a signature book as less than?
I'm not a big fan of signature books.
It does hurt. So, some people don't, yeah. Especially
when I was like 18, I went to my first convention in San Diego, and a friend of mine, Dave Smith, who owned a company called actually he still does, owns a company called Fantasy Illustrated. He had a booth in the hall, and we're sitting there chatting, and Bob Kane walks in the room, and he's walking right towards us. He's walking right down the center aisle towards us. So Dave goes to his board, takes down a copy of Batman #4, takes it out of the Mylar, and says, "Hey, Bob, can you sign this?" And Bob takes out a Sharpie out of his pocket and scrawls Bob Kane all over the cover of this Batman 4. It looked horrible. And I think that probably ended my interest in having books signed just because of that Bob Kane incident. So, but yeah, no, Golden Age books or even Silver Age books signed by the artist or writer, there's definitely a market for that because most of them are gone now. But it's not something that's ever really interested me. I like books the way they were when they came out on the stands day one in 1942.
Well, value is always going to be higher on a non-signed book, right? I mean,
No,
not always.
No, just the opposite actually. But
Yep.
nowadays, as you guys know, people are smart enough that they'll provide a window on the cover where they want something signed.
Right.
A lot of collectors do that. We weren't that sophisticated in 1983 to even think about that. So things got signed wherever the person wanted to sign them.
Like right in the middle of a Batman logo. Look at that.
Right over someone's face or
Yeah.
Going by like comments in the comic book forums, I would say the whole signature thing is more of like a modern comic book style thing, to where if you go back to like Golden Age books, especially key issues, most collectors aren't going to want a signature on that type of book. They want the books to be pure, not touched.
Yeah.
Well, what's different now is, and this is because of CGC, it used to be that when you ask someone to sign your comic, they open the cover and sign the bottom of page 1.
Yeah, on the
Mhm.
inside.
So they didn't want the
ruined that.
cover. Yeah, they didn't want the cover ruined.
Right. But ever since CGC, people want to see that signature, so it's always on the outside now.
Yep.
So they changed the game.
Oh, in many ways.
Literally,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
in many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great topic, by the way. Again, way off of our Prime One Studio Next Level chat, but I'm really glad that we talked about it because it is interesting because it's like, and I'm sure like anything else, it's subjective as to
Yeah.
what people want. Like, what are you wanting? Like, do I want a Jason Fabok signed Detective Comics 1000? Hell yeah, I do.
Yep.
And so just because I have a connection to that, I love that piece. I have the statue, and I've met him and hung out with him, and we got to do that at MegaCon. And so like that piece is even more special to me now. But
DC put out a reprint of Action Comics #1 back in the very early 80s, maybe, and had Siegel and Schuster sign them all.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And those pop up every once in a while. So that'd be a fun book to have.
Do those go for big money, Jeff? When they
Yeah,
pop up?
they go for 4 figures. I'm not sure how much exactly, but it would be at least $1,000, if not more.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.